Okay, bit of a mic check there. Yeah, we got sound. You can hear me. Alrighty, looks like we're all good to go. So hello everyone, I'm Tim from Tim's PC and I build custom PCs to suit anyone's needs or budget. Also live stream my builds and repairs for transparency and educational purposes. So if you'd like to get an awesome new PC and you'd like to get put together live, send me a message today. Alright, so, hang on, just have a quick look at that chat. I saw a couple of comments there. It's from Damon. Hey Damon, how you going? He says, hey Tim and Christine, I got a new laptop, Lenovo V15, Intel i5, 12th gen, 16 gig RAM, 512 gig storage. Cost me $1,200 with Windows 11 Pro. I'm happy. Yeah, okay, no worries. Sounds good. But yeah, it's just me today. Christine's at work, so I am flying solo. So let's just get stuck right into it. So we're going to be building, we've got a Ryzen 7800X 3D rig here. So just with an RTX 4070, graphic card availability is pretty shit right now. If you're wondering why you haven't seen many videos from me, I haven't been running any ads just because there's fuck all graphics cards available at like reasonable prices. So I'm just sort of sitting tight and waiting for that to end. But this is an order that has come through despite no advertising. And he was happy with just a 4070 there. He didn't want like a higher spec card, or he certainly didn't want any of the overpriced 50 series cards. So yeah, that's what we've got here. So hopefully, like the way this rig is designed, you'll be able to upgrade the graphics card in time. So just hold on to your 4070 for 12 months and then have a look at the market. Then might be a lot better. You might be able to get something really, really good and still sell your 4070 for a decent amount. Alright, so like I said, we got the Ryzen 7800X 3D, 8-core 16-thread CPU. We've got an MSI Gaming Plus Wi-Fi motherboard there. We have it's an Inno3D RTX 4070 there. We have a 32GB kit of RAM, 6000 MHz CL30. We have a 2TB NVMe SSD. We got a Corsair RM850E power supply. This is an ATX3 power supply. Comes with the right cable in there. We've got a MSI MagCore Liquid A13 all-in-one liquid cooler. We have an Antec AX81 case that we're going to put it all in. So pretty decent build here. I guess the only thing is we're going to be front mounting our radiator in this case. So that's probably the only thing that's a little bit different about this build. And I don't know if you caught it, but we did a build with a ROG Hero board, and I bought a kit of RAM that I normally buy for just for really good compatibility and stability. And that is this silicon power kit that I've got right here. But for whatever reason, it wasn't actually on that motherboard's approved list of memory, so it didn't work. So unfortunately, I have to use this open kit of RAM for this build. But take it from me, and you can watch you can go back and watch the build with the ROG Hero board. This RAM is brand new. It's never been used. It's got its full warranty, so no dramas there. Alrighty, got Midnight Bacon Gaming. Hey people, hey man, how you going? Good to have you with us. Let's just move over. We got a nice little picture there of our motherboard. So let's get stuck right into it. We'll have a quick look at the board. I'll point out some of the features there. You can see it nice and close on the screen. What do we get? What do we get in here? We get a rear I/O shield and some Wi-Fi antennas. SATA cable, really important stuff. Some M2 screws. Oh, you've got the X3D. Is that still okay with the B650 board? I thought you needed the X670 or the X870 to use an X3D chip. And the answer is no, they run just fine on B650 boards. B650 boards just aren't as stable when you want to overclock them, and they might not have as many features as an equivalent X670 or X870 board. But in terms of your average person who just wants to put in a high performance CPU, high performance graphics card and just game, they're not going to play around and try to overclock or mess around with any of the settings, this is completely fine. So alrighty, let's get... Oh, hang on. No, I'm getting ahead of myself here. We're going to have a quick look. I'll go point out the features of this board, starting at the top left of the board there. So we've got two 8-pin CPU power connectors. That's honestly a little bit overkill in my opinion, but I guess it's nice to have it. It looks cool having the two of them plugged in up there. Obviously our AM5 socket there in the middle. We got nice direct touch heat sinks on our MOSFET VRM coprocessors. We have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 fan headers. Dual channel memory across the across the 4 slots, I should say. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 RGB headers. That is 2 12 volt and 2 5 volt. Obviously our 24 pin power there for the motherboard on the right hand side. Below it we have a USB-C header. We've got 4 SATA ports there. We got USB 3 at the bottom, 2 USB 2s, got COM port. We've got, where's our clear CMOS on this board? Ah, hidden down there. You always want to know where your clear CMOS header is, because if you muck up any of your BIOS settings and the computer won't turn on anymore, that's the 2 little pins that you touch with your screwdriver to reset everything to default settings. In the middle here, so we've only got 2 M2 slots on this board. This is an example of one of the things you might not find as many features on a B650 versus an equivalent X870 or X670, though it's not a fair direct comparison because this is a lot cheaper than those boards. So 2 M2 slots, our PCIe X16 there, we got an X1 and an X4 at the bottom. So, and then around the back here, so we've got pretty good rear I/O on this board realistically. We've got HDMI and DisplayPort there. You don't want to plug into them. They use the onboard graphics on the CPU, so if you're trying to game, it won't really perform as you expect. You need to plug your monitors into the display outputs on the graphics card. But other than that, we've got 8 USB ports. We've got a Type C there as well, 2.5 gigabit LAN, Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.1, and our audio outputs. So not a bad board, realistically. I'd be quite happy with this one. So, all right, let's get stuck right into it. Oh. I hate DDR5 RAM. It's very hard to tell which way it goes because the little divide in the middle is fairly close to the center. Yeah, DDR4 it was pretty easy, right? Okay. So So we'll put our M2 drive down the bottom here, just because it's it won't be obstructed either way. But we'll leave that top slot here. We've just got a PCIe 3 drive here. So if we wanted to put in a PCIe 4 or 5 drive, this doesn't have PCIe 5. I'll eat my words there. If you wanted to put in a PCIe 4 drive, you have the heatsink there for it. The PCIe 4 drives actually get a lot hotter than the PCIe 3 ones. So just something to be aware of. Alrighty. Now 7800X 3D. And this is still an excellent CPU. Like, I know there's a 9800X 3D now, but honestly, there's absolute sweet FA between them. So if you can only get a 7800X 3D, or you can't quite afford the 9800X 3D, don't sit there feeling sorry for yourself. Just get the 7800X 3D and everything will be okay. Alright. Alright, so cooler time. Oh. There goes my wireless mouse. There. Hang on. So unfortunately, we're mounting this to the front, so I have to remove these fans, and we'll put two fans up the top. But these fans here are directly daisy chained. They're not individual fans, they run through as a group. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these three fans out completely, and then we'll get just two other RGB fans for the top. See, they're all, oh, still got the screws in them. Yeah, see how they're all connected together? I just don't want to have an odd one out that I can't do anything with. Here we go. I got some brand new Thermaltake ones right here. Alright, so they're for later. Now, what have we got here? We have a bit of plastic there on the bottom, so that means we've got to apply the thermal compound to this. So we do actually have to change this to an AM5 bracket. Okay. Whoop. Oh. Don't forget your thermal. That is fucking shitloads. It's almost a little bit too much. Nah, it's not that bad. Have a quick look at the chat there. What's going on? Oh geez. Midnight Baking says, I like the 4070, good price performance. Absolutely it is. Damon says, I like every graphics card. I only do gaming at my dad's house. Yep, cool. Hey Mark, how you going? Good to have you with us. Damon said, should I go for Intel or AMD? I mean, in this day and age, you're probably better off going AMD. Let's just be real. Alright. If you like Intel and you prefer Intel, that's fine as well. But objectively, AMD just have better performance products right now. So always just go with the market. Okay. So now we can turn our attention to the case. So our radiator is going to be front mounted, sort of like this. So those fans there are going to need different screws. So we need to play around a little bit with those fans up the front, but let's just see what we're working with in here with our case. AX81 is one of Antec's cheap cases, or not cheap cases, more, but we'll call it budget mid-range. So you know, it's not. Sorry. So it's not like the cheapest that you can buy, but it's not quite as good quality as a mid-range one. Like the aluminium's a little bit thinner and stuff like that, and then if you spend nearly 50, the one that's got some slightly thicker aluminium, but most of it's going to be pretty much the same. But then you step up to a more it's no big deal because you got USB-C on the motherboard anyway. I mean, I got USB-C on my the front of my case, and I never freaking use it. It's just nice to have it there, sort of thing. But just the same, my motherboard also has USB-C as well, so okay. So in this case we have an included RGB controller up there. Let me just, still another tie around that. Let me just get this out of the way there. Yes, get that out of the way, and alrighty. So like I always say with cable management, don't go nuts with lots of cable ties. Don't bother trying to make it look perfect and stuff out the back. That's why they give you room out the back. You just group similar things together. So, you know, all these fans RGB, I've just tied that together like that, and that's how we're going to leave it, which is going to be sitting at the back there. These three, this is the fan connections for them. Now we should have ourselves a splitter for this, and we sure do. So we'll install the splitter. Oh, easier said than done. And once we install the splitter, pretty straightforward from here. Oh shit. I literally pushed one of the pins out the back. That's better. Alright, and same deal. We've got all of our fans. So you could group all of the fans in RGB for those fans all together if you want, or you can do them in two separate groups, whichever you prefer. And so I mean that group there can just sort of you just tuck that away there, and just sort of sit behind that lip. That can go to the motherboard like that. Pretty straightforward. Up here, this cable here that controls our RGB splitter up there, and the rest of it's all pretty easy. These are the big cables, you just kind of lay them down, they all just sort of fit in place, they're just long enough, etc. Okay, so now for the fun part. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll put the motherboard in. Actually, I'm going to undo some of the screws on the fans and then we'll put the motherboard in. Only just these ones at the bottom. So as you can see, the bolts are screwed in from the inside there, but we're going to have to screw them in from the other side and screw them into the radiator on that side. So what we need to do is we need to take out all of the bolts for these fans. I don't want them to fall out everywhere, so I'm just going to take some of them out, the ones that are harder to get to once I've got the board in. Okay, so rear I/O shield. Be careful with these bad boys, they can be quite sharp. I've sliced my finger open on them, and I guarantee there's plenty of amateur builders out there who have built their PC and done exactly the same thing. Remember, safety recommendations and safety procedures are written in blood. Someone around you or at work and stuff doesn't take safety shit seriously, just tell them that. Just remember, dude, safety rules are written in blood. I find that normally makes people go, oh fuck. Okay. Oh, I'm using a bolt with the wrong thread pitch. Okay, so once you get sort of one fan in place, it's a lot easier to get the rest of them in place. Word of advice is not to over tighten them straight away, because sometimes it's not lined up perfect, and if you do tighten them right up, you may have to untighten them and reposition the radiator. Okay, nearly done. A lot of fan screwing here. I feel like I'm doing a Leon Lee D11 or something. Okay, so now they're in place. Now you can give them a tighten. Obviously don't over tighten them. None of this stuff weighs much, you know, it doesn't need to be over tightened. Just firm. There we go. Alrighty, so that is all mounted and ready to go. Alright, a few more screws in our board. All right. Alright, so at the bottom here we've got our front panel audio, and we've got a USB 2. USB 3 at the bottom there. Front panel connectors. Okay. Okay, so we got a couple of other fans to chuck in up the top. Okay. So that is all of our fans and stuff hooked up. So now it's just our power. Power on. If you can guess the game that I quoted then, I'll be very impressed. Alright, so I'm going to install this, this Gen 5 cable here, ATX 3 cable. We don't actually use that one, but it will probably be used in the future. Oh, no, we won't. There's not enough power outputs to plug everything in. Because I need 2 CPUs. Oh well, you got the cable there. Unplug the old one and then plug in the new one if you need it. That PCIe cable only had the one header on it. I need two for this graphics card. Just make all the freaking things the same, guys. And now I can't see. There we go. Okay, graphics card time, and we're using slots. Oh shit, we're using slots 3 and 4. Okay. Alrighty. So what do you reckon? Reckon we've hooked it up right? Okay. Awesome. Okay. Alright, so our BIOS is pretty old. Might go and flash a new BIOS straight up. That's weird. It's not liking those BIOSes. There might be something wrong with that USB stick actually, because it was doing something weird when it copied over. Alright, won't worry about that. We'll just get on with it and install Windows. I can worry about that later on. Okay. So yeah, we're on the home stretch now. It's all looking nice. Windows, man. Holy shit. How many years have I been using Windows for? Like 33 years, I think. 32, 33 years. I had Windows 3.15. I think we had original Windows at some stage, but I was too young. I don't remember using it, but I feel very nostalgic when I see the user interface. So I think we may have had that. But even when we had that, I mean, most stuff that I played was in DOS, right? All your games and shit back then. Alright. So this won't take too long. Fortunately, it doesn't take several minutes. It takes about 30 seconds or so. Mark says Windows 95 was my first memory. Yep, I remember 95. Well, actually, this is the funny thing about me. I didn't actually have Windows 95 because when 95 came out, we didn't have enough RAM. So because we didn't have enough RAM, we couldn't update to Windows 95. So we didn't do that until we upgraded our RAM, and then we got Windows 98 because that was out at that stage. So if I remember right, we went from 3.15 up to 98. Okay. So before we connect to the internet, let's get a bit of stuff. Oh, we don't have adrenaline. quick restart. Sorry, don't mind me, that screen was just a bit dusty. Apps, etc. Okay. Alrighty, just our onboard graphics waiting to be installed. So Microsoft Basic Display Adapter, that's like a generic compatibility driver that's loaded into Windows that will at least like work with your graphics card to output a picture on the screen so you can download the drivers and all that. Okay. So we'll set up MSI Afterburner. Adjust the fan curve. Okay. Alright, so while the rest of that downloads... Oh, where's... Could have sworn I selected them. Oh, that AMD freaking driver's just freaking unstable as fuck. It was downloading, it was doing its thing, and it's like, oh no, you're doing Windows updates now, so I'm gonna have a hissy fit and die. Alright, so first we'll run Heaven here. High. No anti-aliasing. Oh. Might want to actually see our statistics on the screen. So GPU 1, that's our graphics card. Got our temperature, usage, clock speed and wattage. Got our MEM1, which is our VRAM, usage and clock speed. CPU, got our temperature, usage, clock speed and wattage. Got our RAM usage, and this number below RAM, that's how many frames per second it's currently running at. Alrighty, so that was Heaven there on high with no anti-aliasing. Alright, next we'll run Valley. Valley we do on higher settings, so Ultra, Max Anti-Aliasing. Alrighty. Hey Ladios, how you going? Good to have you with us. Hey John, how you going? Good to have you with us. So Ladios asks, how much was the 4070? So, 800 Aussie dollars for the Nano 3D, which is pretty good value. Better value than the 50 series cards, better price performance and all that. And John just says, g'day Tim and Chris. Chris isn't here, unfortunately. She's at work. There's a small dog here, though. But there's some boxes in the way, so she's not coming up to me because a box is a barrier to her. She doesn't understand. Dogs aren't really self-aware. They don't really know how big they are. So, like, sometimes a very small barrier is all that they need. You're bigger than the boxes, Bailey. You can just step over them. Anyway. So that was Valley there on Ultra with max anti-aliasing. And while we wait for everything else, we'll run superposition. We'll do the 4K optimized here as we always do. How are we looking over here? Oh yeah, pretty good. That's nearly done as well. Very good. Alrighty, so here's superposition. Oh, what happened here? Sorry about that. I will start that one again for you. Oh, Ladios says he can't even find a 4070 anymore. Let me have a quick look for you. There's heaps around, Ladios. Scorp Tech have some. And we have a look at Umart. I picked this one up from Umart. Okay. Like, they've still got one, but it's the gigabyte one that's like $130 more than what I paid for. Computer Alliance has them. They're definitely around, man, if you want to pick one up. Alrighty. That's already got its Windows 11 update. Just bear with me a second. Alrighty. So I'll restart, and then we can go ahead and run the stress test. And then yeah, it should be pretty good to go. I should be able to get this one shipped out tomorrow, I think. Provided it doesn't melt down on me while I do the stress test. Okay. Okay. So we are pretty much done. So we just do our stress test now. Oh, I don't have hardware monitor on there. Why didn't that install? Alrighty, so we're logging all our temperatures here. So our CPU is about 80 degrees. It can get up to 95 degrees there, so it's actually decently under temp. That's running as expected while we're stressing it out. And our graphics card, where are we? Got our onboard graphics. So GPU can get up to 83 degrees. Memory and hotspot up to 110 degrees. So realistically that's running very, very cool and calm and behaving itself well. So yeah, we just let this one run for the next 90 minutes. I'm gonna sign off and go get something to eat. But yeah, I think it's all worked out pretty good. So if anyone's got any other final questions or comments for me before I sign off, now is your chance to speak. Hey Bailey. Very small dog. Am I going to cook some bacon? Did you hear the tap tap from the wagging tail? That is a waggy tail from a dog that got excited because I said bacon. Did I say bacon? Hey? Do you want some bacon? Hey? We can have some bacon. I think we'll have some bacon. What do you reckon? Yeah. I reckon we'll have some bacon. Alrighty. So look, thanks everyone for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next video.